Substance is what we are seeking. Let's go back here. Substance is what we are seeking. Let's do this, Bridget. Substance. We are seeking substance. S-U-B-S-T-A-N-C-E. Now, the poet is seeking substance because he produces a poem. The artist is seeking substance because he or she produces art. The singer is seeking substance because she sings or writes or performs the song. So let us see. The cook is seeking substance when she or he cooks, right? The boyfriend and girlfriend are seeking substance when they come together as a unit, sharing love. Let's see what substance is. 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 5, 3, 5. Okay, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, 15, 18, 23. Wow. And do you know what 5 is? Movement. So the movement, didn't we talk about, honey? I know I did. You'll have to on this paper. But if you're busy, was that not the first thing? You'll have to show me because, we'll, stay busy. So it's saying the substance that we're seeking is movement. Movement. There's always this divine force that is moving through us at all times. And if we are one with that, if we are with where our feet are at, and if we are listening to that still small voice, that sexual, divine, sublime energy that's running through us, it's impossible to be bored. Okay?
Okay. There lies no substance in that which is false.
Okay.
Therefore cling earnestly to the truth, and be not hasty to choose where you find such truth.
Now we're going to talk. You said, and we already talked about that, over here on this page, do not attach special favor or implied significance nor commendable comment upon the events in thy current day and upon where you're standing. So a lot of times we get it in our heart and mind, Bridget, that we know how something's supposed to come. We really believe it. And so if it's ugly or unfavorable or dirty or stinks or something we're not accustomed to or familiar with, then we turn it away. And it's saying, don't do that. What's that last sentence you just read, honey?
Therefore clinging earliness to the truth, and be not hasty where you find such truth.
Be not hasty where you find such truth. So we don't know, as we talked just a few moments ago, I know we did, honey, about the day and the night is together, good and bad is together. There's not separate, but we want the good and we want to eliminate the bad. We want the pleasure, but we don't want the pain. It's all part of the life and death process of being here. Okay, go ahead.
Truth is everlasting as life is eternal, is governed solely by God's laws.
Wow. And God's laws goes back to, who was it that determines who's going to have this experience?
Soul.
The soul. And I think you read in that other book, there's no name for that soul.
Right.
So God would be a beautiful name for that soul that resides within each of us and everything that exists in those yellow roses as much as inside of us. All right, go ahead, honey.
Open up thine eyes so thou mayest see. Open up those eyes so that thou mayest hear. Open up thy heart so that thou mayest receive the truth that will guide thee freedom from bondage.
Wow. Bondage. Bondage. Now we're talking about boredom is bondage. Because that is you're the most bound as can be when you're bored. So let's see what bondage is. Bondage. All right, we got a 2, a 6, a 5, a 4, a 1, a 7, and a 5. 8, 13, 17, 18, 25. Look at there, sweetie. 30 again. So the poet, the artist, the music, the soul
is bound.
Is bound. Is bound. Can you understand it, can you? I love it. Go ahead. Bound to the sublime.
Material possessions have bound thee, and what others think of thee has caused thee to wallet thyself into a pattern of living that thou despises.
Okay, now stop a minute. Bridget, I don't know whether I'm going to be able to stay here. Okay, cameraman, I don't know whether I'm going to have to be jumping up in just a minute, because I'm going to get you to read that just again, because we talked about that life is impersonal. Mm-hmm. Where'd you get that? You read, yeah. Where? Life is indifferent, cold, and non-personal. And we talked about that we create so many of our anxieties and problems because if somebody's over there in a room full of people and they make this particular gesture and you think that it has something to do with you, we always jump to conclusions. We're so sensitive. All right, you have to read that again, honey, because that is Johnny's spot on this, on this, on this. It's everywhere.
Okay. Material possessions have bound thee, and what others think of thee has caused thee to wall thyself into a pattern of living that thou despises.
You have walled yourself into a pattern of living that you despise. You are bound to that pattern of living because you are actually caring what somebody else thinks. What somebody else thinks about you, you can't possibly know, and it doesn't have a thing in the world to do with you. Whatever they're thinking doesn't have one thing to do with you. Their words are insignificant. Their words are insignificant. And that's how you're free. And that's how you can't ever be bored unless you are bound and set in a pattern of caring about what they think. Then your whole life is going to be governed by what somebody else thinks. But in the meantime, your soul, which is the God that is within you that cannot have a name because it's so ineffable, beautiful, and sublime, and we can't put a description on it because if we do, we are projecting our own ideas. But there's a soul inside of us that's going to have the experience. So it's saying, get rid of your concern for what other people think of you. Get rid of it. You don't care? You don't care anyway, do you? I know. All right, honey, go ahead. That's beautiful.
Okay. Seek to have courage to be what thou wants to be.
All right, go ahead.
Seek to be free in the beliefs. Thou thinkst that thou hast no power for fame, but verily we say unto thee thou no more power than the Queen of England.
You have more power than the Queen of England when you think that you don't have any. When you are absolutely convinced that something is not going to take place, that's when it is going to take place. Because you don't have a clue. And guess what? Let's get this right here. I just love that. Thank you. Oh, I just love it. If in fact, like you talked about, you were the one that said that, sweetie. You don't want to know what's going to happen beforehand. Right. That's why, fortune telling and all that stuff, I can't stand it. Because I love, just like you, not knowing. And you just said that if we know what is going to happen beforehand, what in the world are we doing on this earth anyway? Why are we taking up space? And we would be bored out of our friggin' minds because there'd be no reason to get up and do anything if you knew it. But life is totally mysterious. It's gloriously enthusiastic, and you're birthing yourself each moment. Each moment, sweetie, it's going to be new. Whatever I'm going to get ready to say in just a second, I don't know what it is, and you don't either, except you're going to read it.
Thou art standing in the most powerful place.
Say it again, sweetie.
Thou art standing in the most powerful place.
All right, Brandy and Jacob, y'all are standing in the most powerful place that you could be standing in your lifetime, right this second. And you are sitting in the most powerful place there could be on this earth, Bridget. So you can't be bored. Okay? What?
Thou canst but command what thou wilt, and it shall manifest itself for thee.
It shall manifest? Are you telling me that you can command what you want to and it's going to manifest? Is that the truth? Because, what did Emerson say? We value the poet. Jacob, we value the poet. You wrote beautiful poems this year in school. Brandy, we value the poet and the artist. So you can create what you will, is what you're telling me.
Right.
And if you can create what you will, then you're ready to dig deeper into yourself to find out what is going on. Okay, give me some more, honey.
However, thou must be careful of what thou ask for. Thou art be able to cut through like the bull, so to speak, get to the heart of the matter.
Read that, honey.
Ready to dig deeper into yourself.
Right. Okay, now let's go. What you want to do next, honey? What you want to do next? You want to pull another paper? You
Yeah.
want to go to another book? You want to look at some pictures? What you want to do? You want to do you call it. It's yours. It's your birth.
Never do someone a favor in order to please them. The favor will turn into a sour, bitter flavor, which you will end up swallowing in regret.
Never do someone a favor in order to please them. I think we talked about your words are insignificant to me. So if you try to make me feel guilty if I don't do anything for you, then that's on you, isn't it? It
Yeah.
doesn't have anything to do with me. The favor will turn into a sour, bitter flavor, which you will end up swallowing in regret. Why are you so angry with me? What favor have I done for you lately? Huh? So, we don't do favors, and we don't accept favors. We do what we want to do simply because we want to do it because we are a poet. And the poet is valued. The artist is valued. The singer is valued. The human being is valued. And the soul has no name. All right, Bridget, what you want to do next, honey?
We can look at pictures.
Okay, let's look at pictures. And like I said, we're going to be live in just a few weeks, and then you'll be able to call and enter in any of what's going on with you. How are we going to do this, sweetie? What number do you want? Oh,
I pick one.
huh?
You pick a number.
Okay, we'll pick a number. Let's pick a number. Well, I'll tell you what, here's how we're going to come up with this number. Give me about 5 different numbers at random. We'll, now you got to add up all those.
Oh,
You should have done little numbers. Okay.
wait.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love life. I'm having such a ball being here.
61.
It's 61? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a 7. That's a 7. And then give me 3 more numbers. That's a 7. Let me see if I can find that page.
6.
A 6 and a 7, that's that 13 again, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
There's that 4. Okay, but here's what we're going to do, sweetie. You had the first number was a what?
7.
A 7? Mm-hmm. So we're going to run over here and find 7, and then we're going to go down there and find 6. So do that, because let's see what that is. Do 7, go across the first, top of it.
7.
Mm-hmm. And then find 6, and come down.
30. All right.
What did she say? What was the number?
30.
30. Everybody pay attention. It was 30. She chose 30 out of the book. She could have chosen, well, I think there's 81 pictures in this particular book. So she could have had the odds, whatever they are, 1 to 81, and randomly she chose 30. Well, her soul chose 30. So let's see what's going on with 30, baby. If we can get here. Or maybe you can do it here. The book's coming to pieces. All right, what we got? 30? 30! So turn it around, okay, and hold it up. And see, can't we zoom in on that picture? All righty. You see? It is
Giraffe.
Giraffes. Okay? Now and what's the name of it?
Hope Bus Wish Boat.
Hope Bus Wish Boat. That is what we're talking about today. Hope Bus Wish Boat. Is that right, or did I say it backwards? All right? Give me some of it, honey.
Although you may think you know, you can hear the words that come out of your mouth. Do you realize you may not be aware of what you are saying?
All right. Let's go.
You are currently so focused on your point of view, you are not hearing what the other person is saying to you. In order to communicate effectively, people must be able to relate. It has been shown that men and women relate differently and results in a certain amount of difficulty.
All right. What Bridget has said is that we are so focused upon ourselves that we don't hear what the other person is saying, much less what we are saying. We think we can hear what we are saying, and I think you read Emerson
somewhere,
which one, baby?
I don't remember.
But it said ears hear, eyes hear. It said eyes too. Because when you're talking with someone, and I'm looking at you right now, Bridget, I can hear right here.
Right.
I can see here, but I can hear because we're receiving, remember about those two pianos?
Yeah.
Vibrating. Okay, go ahead, read some more, honey.
Because of this problem, barriers are set up. Conversations break down, conflicts arise, an overall sense of ineffective communication results.
Ineffective communication. And with the 30 we're talking about here, and we're talking about these two things here. We're talking about you're simply bored with your current involvements. Well, I guess you are if you're not involved with anybody because you can't hear what they're saying. You can't hear what you're saying because you're so focused on yourself. Oh, that goes back to the thoughtfulness, honey. You said to think about, somebody else. That was the word for today. So go ahead, read some more.
Being unable to communicate affects every area in a person's life, not only in personal relationships, but in career settings, the immediate workplace, and other permanent interactions.
All right. So no wonder if you are not communicating effectively, then you might certainly misinterpret a gesture, a facial expression of someone else in your workplace, right? You might do that if you're not communicating. And hope bus, wish boat. Instead of waiting for the hope bus to arrive or the wish boat, manifest it by getting clear, by speaking what it is that you want. I think you read that, right? And where was the other paper, honey? What did I do with that? There it is. What was that one?
About being bored.
Yeah. And never do someone a favor in order to please them. The favor will turn into a sour, bitter flavor, which you will end up swallowing and regret. Right here. So if you're not communicating, if I'm sitting here talking to you and you're talking to me, but I'm not clear in what I'm saying, and then I get mad at you because you didn't do what I thought you ought to do, well,